through the fire. Tough it out, bitch.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
So yeah, Nose, tell us about your sexual relations with the tree.
I would like to point out, Sneaky only never made that fucking poll because he was so mad about the fact that the enemy's offlaner, who had 0 kills and 13 deaths, had more fucking impact in the game than he did.
Yep.
Shut
That's
the
totally
fuck
what
up,
it was.
Sneaky.
Yep. You got me.
Nope.
You got it.
Fuck you.
You nailed it, boyo. You totally got me. Exposed.
I would prefer that you not expose
sign.
yourself. That's not what.
And Kaz. I summon the retards. The retards.
Unfortunately, you're already in the call,
the
so
goon squad.
summon doesn't work.
Debilitation. Caught on fire. Yes, I suppose being lit the fuck on fire does count as a debilitation.
Being on fire is a disability.
Oh, wondrous.
Okay.
I am on...
He makes a solid argument.
I mean...
Nose, listen, you got a little too much white privilege. We're gonna give you a temporary disability to lower your privilege points so you can get back into a good liberal
Set
school.
yourself on fire.
Setting ourselves on fire to enter a liberal school.
Yeah,
The new isekai.
Yeah.
Hello, sign.
I set myself on fire, but all I ended up in was hell.
You mean the U.S. Congress?
California?
Yeah. Yeah, you actually just isekai into Congress.
Oh no, the Viper's done.
Okay, alright, yeah, everything looks to
Oh,
be
neat.
in the green.
They added some finisher animations. I disemboweled a goblin.
Nice.
Rude, but alright.
Nice.
Fair play.
Goblins deserve disembowelment.
Yeah.
True.
Curb stomp a goblin.
Goblin these nuts.
Total
No.
goblin death.
Got him.
I mean, listen, hang on a minute. What kind of goblin is we talking about here?
Goblin these nuts.
Talking about your cock goblin.
Well, okay, obviously lewd goblins are completely excluded. The porn goblins are fine, they can stay.
Yeah. Oh, of course. The rule of horny.
Please do not
The
fuck
sign wants to gobble some nuts.
Please
the
do not
the
fuck
level
goblin.
of genocide is determined by how horny sign is.
Indeed.
Well, and how
Okay, hang
fuckable
on
the
a minute. That applies to most of mankind.
Yes,
I wouldn't
it's
say
not
that.
exclusive to me.
No, I would definitely say your special sign.
No.
No, not on this one. On this one, he is unfortunately baseline humanity.
Yeah, you're right. Demon or human, we all have daddy issues.
What?
Like that, that's a fuckable goblin.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it about daddy issues?
What did he mean by this?
Oh, so, that dude never responded, by the way.
Which dude?
That dude.
Why? Why?
The true perfection guy. He never responded.
Oh no. Anyway.
Why?
I remember
Why
to
is there an
post
entire
that,
set of
didn't
gifts
I?
for horny goblins on Discord?
One moment.
Well,
I know why. That doesn't mean I have to like the answer sign.
well, then don't ask the
Why
question.
why is one of these the fucking funny Tohu goblin?
Ask me no questions and I'll give you no sex.
I mean, I will never ask Sneaky any questions.
Good.
Yeah. No, my ears are closed. And so is my mouth.
Jesus. Alright, this Sneaky, we are approaching a level of Divinity 2 for elemental interactions.
Oh.
A goblin threw oil on me.
Yeah.
A mage gave me a buff to light my weapons on fire, and that lit me on fire.
Amazing.
Of course.
Unfortunate.
Listen, it's perfectly sensible. I'm not saying it isn't. But, like,
Honest
good.
to God skill issue.
So anyway,
I'm glad we're... Glad we're there.
Demon or human, we all have daddy issues. Shoto Todoroki summoned Demon to teach his father a moral lesson.
Are you sure it doesn't say a moron lesson?
No.
I don't recommend summoning demons to teach moral lessons. I can safely say, based on my grasp of religion, that is an awful fucking idea.
Yeah.
If
Dabby
it's not gonna
summoned
work
a
for
demon
Frost,
to
it's
murder
not gonna
his
work for
father. Now the demons must fight who will complete the contract. King of Hell, all for one with his perfect record, or his son Izuku on his first job.
What did he mean by this?
I mean, I would think it's fairly obvious.
I just... Why?
I sense stupidity.
I have a question for a god.
Yes.
It's because
Why?
of stupidity.
Yeah, I just... Killionaire says, I just want to talk. Author, I just want to talk, author. I just want to
Yes.
talk.
I wish to talk with the barrel of my gun.
I'm just gonna talk to him.
He has something
I
to say.
cast Speak Many Languages Cordite.
Base.
Oh, yes.
Crow.
You just fucking load something? They should
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was a slot snapping home.
Yeah.
Fuck did... Is that a fucking pistol?
I shall
Yes.
now
Yes, it is.
use the ancient alchemical ingredient of speak all language, cordite.
What fucking pistol is that? I swear I've heard that before.
I guess.
It's a Luger.
Has a
Nope.
kind of a plasticky sound to it.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
not a Luger. That's plastic.
It's not a Luger. I'll
It's
tell you
'cause
that
he
much.
loves
I was
horse
gonna say,
cock.
Luger sound more metal.
far more
It
metallic.
sounds a little horse
Yeah.
cocky, so it must be a Glock.
Correct.
Ah,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Of course,
I mean,
Sneaky would recognize the sound of horse cock.
I do think the plasticky sound should have given away because, the original
only
polymer
one.
gun.
Yeah, there was
No,
only
yeah,
one.
well, not the only one, but the original,
My question is, who trusted this man with a Glock?
The
Norway.
question is
wrong
more,
person.
who's gonna stop me?
many people
Well,
who have a
listen,
9mm.
Listen, now that I know it's a Glock, I'm just unthreatened.
Glock made, man. Just let it
Mods,
happen.
I've had enough of
Watch
this
my
man.
9mm
Meant
go
butt
back.
crack.
Oh god. Decepticons toward his testicles counterclockwise.
Mods. Testicular torsion.
Optimus, you
Mods,
fool, I've destroyed your
rotate his ball
tractors.
like 270 degrees.
Vexes of the untethered heart. Shoto Aizawa grew up with the belief that love would always elude him, convinced he was unworthy of affection. So when the ruby eyes gazed upon him with tenderness, overflowing with an unyielding ... love ...
Author.
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 He is
do
overwhelmed
not.
by unknown feelings, unsure of how to handle this unfamiliar and unconditional adoration. You know who the person involved is?
Yeah, he's gonna get raped, isn't he?
Morocco!
Marco?
Mirko, yeah, Mirko.
Bunny.
Yeah, it is a straight pairing. However, this is gonna be what the people on AO3 call non-consensual consent.
She's gonna rape him.
Yes,
Yes. That was the
I
implication.
mean,
that was the
muscle
implication.
rabbit. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only way that can go.
I mean, like, is he going to stop her? Can-
No, not
Is he able to?
Yeah.
Also, no.
Yeah, exactly.
The Osmosis hero, Amalgam. When Izuku was 4, he awakened Dangerous Quirk, the power to absorb and control all energy around him. When Izuku was 7, he kidnapped by man that wished to abuse his power for evil. Izuku was 13, he broke free. Now watch him take control of destiny and become greatest hero world has ever known, AU harem.
True.
The harem includes Ochanko, Kyoko, Himiko,
All the O's.
all the O's. Is it rated
It's
T?
Japan.
Yeah, he did rate it T. Yeah, he did rate it T. Yeah. Hero Enforcement Regiment. As the symbol of peace, Izuku Midoriya hears and reads rumors of his fellow heroes abusing their powers. She doesn't want to believe it until one night, a famous hero tries to rape her. Yeah, let me just go try and rape that person that can punch out entire skyscrapers.
That
Or
sounds
change
like a
the way
great
the. Actually, no, they're stronger than All Might because their power fucking doubled.
Yeah. And then starts her own hero agency with the goals of stopping heroes who step out of line. Rated T for rape.
Oh,
So
yes.
basically, they use
T.
rape as an excuse.
For rape.
They use,
Hooray.
yes, they use rape as an excuse to make Izuku into female Stain.
Is this author female? I have.
Barefoot Truck.
Probably
The
loosely
author,
inspired by The Boys, featuring Femme Izuku / Femme Deku, Izuku times Shototo. So yeah, it's a female
course.
author.
Yeah,
Something
that's
that-
female author.
Shoto Todoroki showing Mina Ashita a fanfiction
Once
he
again,
wrote.
female author completely incapable of associating with anything but a replaceable clone of herself.
Mhm.
True.
Real. I reiterate the last thing I said after the last stream. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, so speaking of which, this got me pissed off, and I'm sure you'll always enjoy it. So, I saw a video recently on TikTok.
Oh no.
TikTok already angers me, but go on.
Yeah. So I saw a video recently on TikTok where this
Wait, hang on. Roll it back here. You have a fucking TikTok?
No, I watch Short Fat Otaku, and he does what's called TikTok Tuesdays, which is where he
Yeah.
takes the worst TikTok videos he's seen that week and compiles them for our enjoyment.
Mm.
Oh god. Why would you do that?
Because I want to know what I need to hate people for. Like, I can just muster up general unfocused hatred for literally anyone, but I do like to know what I'm supposed to hate people for. It just makes me feel better.
Fair. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. That's fair.
So anyway, so this 20-something who needs to be brained with a brick and then left out to die in a fire, their opinion on books is that they are lame because you have to read a book to understand it, and that's stupid. And why can't they just put tags at the first page of the book so you, quote, know what you're getting into?
Okay, you know what? I fully understand your hatred because that's just brainless.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like want to shove a whole ass like lit M80 into their asshole just to see what happens.
Do they want to put
Please.
AO3 tags on real life fucking books?
Yeah, they want to make the first page of every book into an AO3 tag page where you jam as many tags into it as possible.
Mods, stuff this man into a pair of skinny jeans.
I don't like romance. I'm gonna go try and find a book in the romance section. Why is it all
Bro.
romance?
Sign,
Quite literally, that was her complaint. She's like, I know this book is called romance, but how do I know if it's a polycule without reading it? I'm like, A, die. B, die. C, perish your entire genetic line.
Sign, that threat only works from your perspective. Because for you, skinny jeans is a trash bag.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, well, you gotta, look, man, you gotta give him a break, okay? He can't put pants on normally without making them look like parachutes, so.
I mean, that implies he could even get out of his mobility scooter to get them on.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point. Someone's got to get the crane started every morning for him.
Can't even reach around his gut, bro. It's a wonder he can jerk off to begin with.
Well, they
He doesn't. That's why he writes porn.
Yeah, he's got a constantly cycling pool of nubile young women for that.
The fact that he hasn't said anything just shows how much you hurt him.
Or he's away and not hearing.
He has that Sakura thing. Yes, his Sakura Dune fleshlight.
Yeah. Wasn't that supposed to be a popcorn bucket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Also, that female author, well, I think they're female. They've apparently been around since 2012.
Yeah.
Have 209 stories, over 40 of them Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that's a female author, all right.
Mm. They do write like, even just from the words on their fucking author's note, they write like a female author.
Mentions My Immortal, so they've been around for a while.
2012.
They are an accursed and foul creature.
Reference to 42, Bring a Towel, yep, okay, they have an AO3 account, a DeviantArt account, a Tumblr account, yeah, this person's female.
Mm. Has a series of Sonic the Hedgehog fucking
Trailers for upcoming fanfics, yep. Jesus Christ.
Trailers?
She's writing a written trailer in her author's note.
Bro.
How the fuck?
with
I don't
a
even know.
in bold underline to make the title, in this case a Sonic the Hedgehog one called War Bus, another one called The Extinguisher, MHA, more Sonic, Kobayashi, Dragon
Who the fuck
Maid.
writes a story for World of Tanks? Well, people who can't get into War Thunder.
Yeah.
People
Well,
who lack the required skill to play War Thunder. That's
No, it's not
That's
the
an
required
insult.
skill.
I don't
It's
know
not the
about that
required
one.
It's not the required skill, it's the required authority to leak military documents.
I was gonna say,
They don't have
people
high
that
enough
can't leak
clearance,
military
true.
documents play.
That's actually part of
World Tanks.
verifying your account on War Thunder is you have to leak your most classified military documents.
If it's too high, you're not allowed to play. If it's too low, you're also not allowed to play.
Yeah.
Well, you either got to do that, or you got to get the creators of War Thunder to beg to please stop doing that at you.
Yeah. Gonna Kiss You on Boulevard, a collection of one-shots about Deku times Femme Todoroki.
Alright, I'm getting alcohol.
Yeah. I'm actually
Understandable.
really sad because I drank all my alcohol and then I was like, oh, I still have some alcohol left. And then I poured out my alcohol and I did not have much alcohol left as I thought I did.
It's so Jomer.
So
It's
Sneaky's an
very-
alcoholic.
No, I'm not an alcoholic. I just drink a lot of alcohol.
Yes.
He's
No,
no longer
you
an
are.
alcoholic.
Your alcohol problem is somehow not the worst part about you.
No,
but
no,
whatever.
no. See, other people have an alcohol problem where they drink too much alcohol. I have an alcohol problem where I can't drink enough.
Exactly.
That's I'm not even getting into that. I'm not dealing with it.
The Emperor's Dragon 4 Dragon. Izuku made his choice when his father taught him a lot. He still has much to learn about the underworld. He must now lead the League of Villains through the underworld that sees him as a simple source of power and establish his place as the dragon. Meanwhile, All Might searches for a successor, someone who is able to carry on his torch against All for One and his evil. AU Dad for One.
Okay, so I
Um,
thought we were about to get some kind of incredibly strange
Yakuza.
Yakuza crossover, and I was, you know what? I was on board to see where the author went.
No.
And then he went off a cliff.
Yeah. More than you think. Quirks can make or break you. Actually, they... Yeah, I guess, but...
I mean, technically,
Depends
yes.
on what it
because-
is.
Well, no, because they're of the soul now, so yeah, getting your quirk stolen is part of your soul.
I'm sorry,
stolen,
they're
so-
what?
Yeah, no, free canon is everyone's quirk is apparently part of their soul, and in your soul is the reputation of your quirk looks like you, apparently.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone has the same shit that all for one, one for all
They
has.
have Zanpakuto spirits.
Basically,
They have their copies of themselves inside themselves.
yeah.
So what you're
And
saying
I'm
is all they need
guessing-
to do is bring out their aura to have their fighting spirit
Yeah.
defend them.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
they can make a
But they-
stand of
They can
themselves.
make a
Basically,
stand.
I'm guessing that the author was getting sick of people asking, but I thought quirks were biological, and it was like, nope, it's soul shit now.
Except, how does that explain all the biological shit? Oh,
fuck
well,
you.
their soul is mutated.
It's soul shit. It's soul shit. Duh.
Man, the
Their soul
Japanese...
affects the physical body.
the Japanese have this really weird cultural quirk where they believe a lot of shit comes from the soul, specifically because their whole, like, cosmology deals a lot
Like
of
that
soul
thing-
shit.
Like that thing in JJK where the soul shapes the body or whatever and all that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's like very historical when it comes to Japanese media. Because their
Yeah, that was just the
mythology
most
has a
recent
lot
one.
of creatures that are entirely based off of the concentrated emotions of the human soul. And it's like, oh, what is this creature? Oh, this creature was created for the loneliness of many people. What's this creature? This creature was created from the happiness of many people. You know, like...
What's this creature? It's an ice woman who's horny.
What is
Yeah.
this creature? It's horny.
Yes!
What is this one? It's what happens when a house gets horny.
I
Yeah.
can't believe
What?
that side is a Japanese spirit
Huh?
creature.
No, hang on, back up. What is that?
Back the fuck up. What the
Wait,
fuck?
what?
Who said house
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
horny?
that's
Well,
another
I-
one. Yeah,
Horny,
no,
that's
he's
the
not wrong.
little helper house spirit things.
Aren't you...
What the
Is there a
fuck?
Japanese house spirit thing? I thought there was those were just Fey brownies.
Okay, no. So
Basically,
effectively,
fake brownies,
yeah,
but
the-
they,
basically, when a new couple who are expecting a child move into a house, sometimes the house will spontaneously generate a spirit that they're called like a zakarashis or whatever.
Oh,
Um,
Naraki Washi or something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know those. Yeah, I know those. I just thought
And
that sign
you're
was
supposed to
reading too much
leave
Harry
out like
Potter
little
house stuff, yeah.
offerings for it, and it cleans your house for you. Honestly, I just
Yeah.
think it's part of big ant propaganda.
Big
Yeah.
propaganda.
I just thought Sign was reading too much Harry Potter House porn.
Yeah, oh yeah, also the wall of the house. Yeah, that was that
Mm.
one as well, yeah. Sign is
I'm
just
sorry.
used
The
to
what of the house?
don't worry about it.
The Wa.
the
Ina.
wall.
The Ina of the house. What is your
Ah,
wisdom?
yes. Okay. I thought there was some kind of house cleaning orc, and I was very confused.
Yeah, you see every house actually comes with an Ina in your walls.
Well, that's offensive.
No,
I mean,
I mean,
That's an upgrade.
hell yeah, I'll take a dozen.
I shall
Yeah.
take a dozen and become the greatest takodachi.
I mean, you're certainly the largest.
Livestock.
The
No,
widest
they're
Takodachi.
probably bigger than me.
I don't
Yeah.
know, the KCDC is pretty large.
So
Sneaky,
you mean the the Kuso?
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Do not
KDTD?
insult Nose by implying he likes that fucking diseased bird that
Mo-
taints the entirety of
Huh?
Hololive.
What?
No, no.
Kiara?
Huh?
He's talking.
What?
He's talking about the fucking Kusodekai Takodachi, the giant Takodachi.
Oh,
fucking
okay.
ninja.
Who are
And-
you?
Are you talking about?
And
Were
this
you
thing's
talking
fucking
about Kira?
huge, by the way.
He
Like,
said, I
Yeah.
think he thought you said KFC, and I was
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
what I thought he said.
no,
I'm like, what is
no,
wrong with
no. Ina produced a fucking enormous takodachi that you can buy.
And
It's
her
That is
mom
crazy.
wants it.
It's
I think
like-
her
I
mom
have it.
stole it from her.
Your mom
I
stole
would
it,
love
yeah.
to buy that, but I think that any place I would
I have it.
enter,
It's
like
great.
any roommate I have would say absolutely fucking not.
Mhm.
We still haven't talked about Nose fucking a tree. Well, he has rejected all of these charges laid against him.
I
mean,
reject
leave
all of
him-
these charges and say Sneaky's a bitch ass motherfucker.
I just say leave a man to fuck a dryad if he wants to.
Well, I mean, that's a little bit different, but, you know,
fun.
there's one thing when you stick your dick in a tree, and then there's another thing when the tree sticks its dick in you, so I'm just saying, you know.
Oh, that's not how dryads work.
Some might.
No,
That's what
it
you
doesn't.
think.
Could be.
There are literally no male dryads, they're only female.
That's what you
I-
think.
Technically,
That's
He
part of
thinks-
big dryad propaganda.
can we move on?
That's
Oof.
big forest propaganda.
That's big forest propaganda.
Hate you.
Anyway, so by that logic, Izuku, who was born quirkless in a world where 80% of world has quirk, should have been less than nothing. But he refused to accept that fate. He wishes to prove that, quirk or no, he can achieve greatness and become splendid hero through hard work and dedication. So, literally
It's another
the original
Izuku.
point of My Hero Academia that got immediately lost by the author because the author was like, no, my OC must be super strong.
Yeah, and then there's also the seems to be pretty. It's basically all those quirkless Izuku fics, except they seem to have put him in Class B. Either that or he's in Gen Ed because of the characters. That's part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like quirkless Izuku. Okay, look, I'm gonna be real here, right? So,
Quirkless
My Hero
Izuku is getting-
Academia
Hmm.
is dog shit.
Yep. I got past
Yes.
Nomu versus All Might at the UFJ or whatever.
Average AO3
and then I
author,
just-
yeah.
And then I just went like, "Yep, this is the best this series is gonna get. I'm dropping it." And
Well, it's not even that. It's like, so literally, so they set up the premise of Izuku is this quirkless kid who tries really hard, but, you know, deep down inside, he wants to be a hero, but everyone keeps telling him it's impossible, but it's his dream to be a hero no matter what. And then he does it. You know, he stands up and does it in a
in
moment.
the stupidest ways possible.
Well, no, it wasn't the stupidest way possible, but don't get me wrong there. He was also feeling somewhat suicidal. You gotta keep in mind, his
Oh, yeah.
greatest hero did just tell him to fuck off and go be a police
Oh,
officer.
you're talking
which...
about the start. I thought when he actually did get into hero school, he did it in the
No,
stupidest
no,
ways
I'm
possible.
literally talking about the start. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
What?
So, you know, it sets up this whole, like, he's gonna have, you know, he's gonna get taken in maybe by a hero just out of his sheer guts, and he's gonna fight his way to the top, showing people that through compassion and teamwork and planning, you know, you can go farther than whatever your inherent traits are.
Become Batman.
It's like Izuku. Except not, because he never does that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's my
That's
point.
the author.
Is the
That's the
end of
author.
episode 1 is quite literally, hey, you know that whole thing I was just setting up this entire episode with? Fuck that shit. Izuku's gonna get an instant power up, become super powerful. I mean, yeah, it's gonna have downsides, and he's gonna lose all of his intelligence, and he's never gonna be able to overcome this until like 300 episodes in, and, you know, he's just gonna take all of his extreme quirk knowledge and analysis abilities, and he's gonna throw that out the window just so he can emulate the hero that told him he was a fuck up.
Mhm.
He will literally ruin his body doing it.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, he did start doing it only to people who weren't him and his own quirk. He was still doing it to
But
other
that
people.
doesn't matter. I don't fucking care if he does it to other people if he doesn't do it to himself. And
Yeah,
it'd be
exactly.
one thing, again, if the whole thing was about him being blind to certain faults or whatever, but that's never a lesson. It is never a lesson. The lesson that My Hero Academia teaches, instead of hard work and perseverance, is wait for people to give you power and give you everything you wanted in life, and then don't correct yourself if you ever fuck up, because until someone else corrects you, you should just keep doing whatever you're doing, and you're meaningless without your physical attributes being decided for you by birth.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't see a problem.
And it's just the dumbest fucking shit ever. And, you know, like, Naruto was sort of the same way, where they try to make Naruto be all about, oh, we don't have to resort to violence and the underdog can win. But Naruto's not the fucking underdog.
No.
Naruto has the strongest chakra beast, which they ended up making like 51% of the chakra of the original chakra beast. And he's the strongest chakra beast of two legendary ninja with a peerless pedigree of strength, power, endurance, vitality, chakra control, resilience. All of that's fucking genetic, apparently. And literally, Naruto had to work for none of it. It just got handed to him constantly through the series.
In fact,
it's so
not
funny how
miraculous that
Neji...
Naruto kicks people's ass. It's miraculous that Naruto is much of a fucking useless bitch as he is.
It's funny how Neji was right since the beginning of Naruto, that yes, there is fate, and yes, Naruto is fated to be great.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
To be fair, the thing with Naruto is he was handicapped from the beginning because most of the village hated him and nobody wanted to teach him, and so he reacted by going, you know what, fuck it, I'm just not going to try.
It wasn't even people didn't want to teach him. He didn't want to sit still and learn in a bunch of cases, so they were like, yeah, all those rumors are true. He's a bad kid.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Iruka tried to teach him, and he actually didn't give a damn.
No.
Everyone other teachers did not.
Quite literally, what it was is that even Iruka acknowledged that he was a troublemaker because he had too much energy, but at the end of the day, Iruka tried, and Iruka failed to try and teach Naruto because Naruto, A, refused to learn, and B, was so up his own ass about it that he's like, oh man, all these people hate me, I'm gonna have this fucking pity party here and ignore the reasons that I'm giving them to hate me.
Without listening to what they're trying to teach or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now,
again,
hang
to
on.
be fair, yes, child, I'm aware. But but the problem is even though he is a child, the problem still remains that he is the opposite of the lessons that they're trying to show in Naruto. And, like, they have these themes of fate, except Naruto's like literally the fucking fated one, and they talk about prophecies and shit later on for him. I said they completely forgot about how Naruto had this whole big speech about how fate doesn't control him, except literally every single action of his was fated effectively. You know, and Naruto talks big constantly forever. I mean, even after getting back from Jiraiya, Naruto still talks big about how he's going to become the Hokage, and still doesn't understand what that means. No, they didn't kill him.
About Rock Lee.
Yeah, they didn't kill Bakugo. They brought him back. Edge shot.
Oh,
yeah, brought him back.
They brought him back.
Yeah, Edge shot was like, I can stitch myself into his heart and keep his heart pumping.
Oh,
yep.
Wait, I thought it was Best Genist who gave him a heart.
No, Edge shot.
No.
Yeah, it was Edge shot.
The ninja that turns into a thread was the one who did it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I thought he folds himself and turns into like weird paper, but yeah. It's pretty funny how 13 fans killed themselves over fucking Bakugo, but no one did over Gojo.
I'm
People
sorry, what?
killed themselves over
What?
Bakugo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I am not
No,
heard
I
this
remember
one.
that.
Thank
did not hear
God!
At least
Natural
13
selection
people.
at work.
Can we
At
kill
least
him
13
again?
At
Double
least
stuff?
13 people, and it meant nothing because in the next chapter the Oz is like, we can bring him back.
Yeah, can we do that
What the
again?
fuck?
Like, can
And
we just keep
no one
doing
did that
that?
over JoJo. That is the
Real? Have it
MHA
been real?
fandom.
Run it back, come on, one more time.
Yeah, like, can we
Once
That-
more for the fans
once
in the
more?
back.
Yeah, I don't
That is
think
the
we
My
got them
Hero
all.
fandom. That is the My Hero fandom.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, Rooster Teeth said it's okay to idealize suicide, so
Yeah, they did.
Mm.
You know
And
what
they
the
did-
worst part about that was? Because Sneaky and I were the only ones that stuck around outside of Gray, and Gray's not here. Ruby gets the whole thing of like, it's okay to just be you, it's okay to fuck up and all that. Sort of like fixing the idolization that they made. And then they fuck it up with Neo.
yeah,
Who still
yeah,
she still chooses that the self-deletion route.
yeah. So quite literally, so like Ruby comes back, fights the cat, and then Neo's like wakes up, and she has this whole realization that she's like been deluded for too long, and Roman fades away, getting one last word in, and then Neo's just like, all right, okay, bye everyone, bye, and then jumps off the edge and kills herself. And then everyone's like, yeah.
Meanwhile,
Wait, did
Meanwhile,
like a tree?
Nick is like, why are they just letting her go? And I chime in with, I expect the next frame to be them all shooting over the
Yeah. And then instead, Ruby's like, guys, I think it's okay. I think she found what she was looking for. And it pans over to Neo being a sprout. And then we're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Neo just wanted to be the grass that got touched.
Indeed.
Phew.
So true.
And then they also tried to ham fist in this one scene right at the end where they're like, oh, the mouse actually also reincarnated and came back as a mouse warrior. A mouse knight, one could even say.
God damn it.
And it was just a moment of like, we're gonna have this big emotional moment with this character that no one fucking cares about.
Yeah. Again,
It's Rooster Teeth. They're disconnected from everyone.
that scene in a vacuum's like,
In
oh, I'd
reality.
love to have seen the adventure that led up to this emotional reunion that was like decently written. But as has been discussed, it's only good in a vacuum.
Mm.
It is
Honestly-
several vacuums set side by side.
Honestly, Neo should have talked before she committed suicide.
She
Yes.
didn't once, did she?
It should have just said
No,
bye, Neo.
And her origin
No.
story, her novel is like, it's a mental block.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
I
like
know.
it's
And that's
a
what I'm
mental block.
saying. Like, they made it a mental block, and they should have just had her, like, stop at the edge, and, you know, Team Ruby's like, oh, what do we do about her? And Ruby turns to Neo, and Neo turns to Ruby, and,
Yeah.
and Neo's just like, good luck, Red, and then jumps off.
Or even if you want to keep the emotional like momentum going, when the mirror clone of Roman fades away, she just says goodbye and that's it. And that's
Or
like
that.
the one line you get out of it.
That
Yeah,
would've
like,
been
either of
fake.
those would have been great.
Oh, I just had a fucking thought. Neo on the edge looks back, throws the hat at Ruby, goes, "It's your turn now," and she inherits Roman's racism.
This is a racism-fueled hat, Ruby.
Just puts it on, and all of a sudden, Blake looks like an actual cat. It's like, oh my god, I get it now. I get it.
That was Roman semblance all along. Only he had the hat.
Yeah, it was the hat.
Racism.
You really are beasts.
Oh god. But anyway, yeah, so it's just like I fucking hate. That's why I hate
see.
My Hero
Roman was
Academia so
right.
much. It's why I hate Naruto so much. It's like they took their original message, both of them, like, oh hey, here's this original message that's like kind of cool. Except we're now gonna have our characters embody none of that original message. We're gonna keep harping on about the original message throughout the entire series and how important the original message is, while showing literally everything but the literal fucking original message.
Yeah.
Kishimoto.
Well, like I said, it's not just Kishimoto. Fucking My Hero Academia did it as well with the incompetent shit pile we know as Izuku.
I just want to say, thank God none of the other big three fucking animes decided to do that sort of shit.
I will say,
what was Bleach's message? Big sword cool.
Protect your precious people even at the cost of your own life and powers. And Ichigo was like that to the very fucking end.
And don't forget, Bleach also did have some legitimately good messaging of like, you gotta move on from the past at some point. You gotta accept what happened and just do better.
Yep.
One Piece is do what you want.
A pirate
is free
without hurting people.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, they do. They do hurt people sometimes. It's just not usually people who are innocent or have nothing to do against them.
Like Luffy's big thing is like, I love all this freedom as long as I'm not like directly killing people.
Well, wasn't Luffy's whole thing was don't tell me how to have an adventure?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Don't tell me how to have an adventure, and if you give me a path that I can take, I'm gonna say no because only the path I want to take is what's important.
Yeah.
That path looks more fun. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Also, at one point, I'm pretty sure someone was like, "Hey, Luffy, I can tell you where the One Piece is," and he was like, "Nah, I want to find it."
Yep, that was Rayleigh. It's like, nope, it's no fun unless you find it yourself.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And big props as well. Like, Luffy's one of those shonen protagonists. Like, oh, he seriously tried to kill that motherfucker. Oh,
yeah, he has before.
I see. He's tried. I don't know that he's succeeded, but he has absolutely tried.
I would say at Marineford, he probably did kill people, even if it was accidentally with a blast of Conqueror's Haki. They probably would have been made unconscious and possibly fallen into the water or been hit by someone else.
Oh yeah, but no, that's still one of my favorite defining characteristics because it was kind of out there for Shonen Jump protagonists. Like, it's up there with Gintama, where like Gintama, it's like, oh, what's the thing about Gin? Oh, he's totally ready to kill people. He doesn't like to, but he will. It's like, oh, also he has a body count in the hundreds. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Man has a body count, not in the hundreds. Man has a body count in the thousands.
Yeah. Luffy might have killed people at Enies Lobby, and he definitely killed zombies if those count. And he didn't hesitate at all.
That's technically, I don't know. Who the fuck knows at this point what's canon in that fucking stuff?
He re-killed them. He set them at peace. I don't.
Yeah,
Gintama is weird.
Oh, Gintama's fine.
Oh, wait,
We're talking about Luffy at the moment.
It's non-canon, but there is a movie where he kills someone.
Where?
Baron Omatsuri, his last punch kills the main antagonist. He said you're already dead with your crew or whatever, but his last punch did do the finishing blow.
I mean, I'm fine with it because again, Luffy has proven he is more than willing to kill a motherfucker.
Especially because it was then he thought he had lost his crew, so he thought he had nothing left.
Also, like, hasn't like multiple of the characters throughout the show, like main characters, killed people and like died?
Definitely Zoro. Zoro definitely has.
Nami has probably inadvertently gotten people killed.
She almost killed her three body pirates.
I bet Nami slit a throat.
Yeah.
Chopper has not. That goes against literally everything he stands for.
He has not. He'll beat them up, but he hasn't killed. Usopp has not.
Probably, if he has not, he's probably willing to.
Yeah, because especially he probably isn't up close.
Brook.
Like sniping kill, he would. Brook, I think has. He was 50 years ago. He was.
You don't get swordsmanship skills like his without killing a few people.
Also, I also remember that one episode. Like I said, I didn't watch it really, but like everyone I fucking knows watches it, so I kind of got like snippets in through osmosis.
Yeah.
But like, didn't they have this one character that was like some old doctor guy that was like, "Oh, the fucking deer found his purpose. I'm gonna go die now in this snowstorm."
No. So what happened is that he was dying, and Chopper tried to give him a mushroom that he thought would cure him because he couldn't read, and it had a skull and crossbones, and he thought that meant it was a pirate mushroom. So he gave it to him, and it was poison. The doctor ate it anyway, and then went and blew himself up while sending a message to Chopper that it's okay for him to live and be how he is, and that it's not good for the king of that land to be a tyrant. I don't know if
Jesus
Four Kids
Christ.
made it. I don't know if Four Kids changed it into him walking into a snowstorm, but in everything else, he blew himself up after being poisoned by Chopper.
God, yeah,
who
four,
destroys his
four
son.
kids did get that far in their thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
hate how
yeah,
long
like
they
I
had
said,
that.
One Piece got really fucking dark.
It was actually pretty dark since like pretty early on. Even Arlong was like pretty fucking dark. because that's 8
Arlong
years-
was some fucked shit. Honestly, the East Blue was still pretty dark
Fucked.
and had some fucking
East
interesting
Blue
thing. Like
is the lightest it's been, but that's not
Mm.
saying much.
fucking Arlong's whole thing was literally just generational abuse by people of fucking laboring.
Let's see what we got here. Counter to all. So you think you've seen it all, huh? Well, how about choking on water and waking up in My Hero Academia? Boy, I wish that was real.
Sounds like a skill issue, bro.
Just the first one.
Yeah, no, actually, no. Just please choke on water.
Yeah,
and try.
actually just choke on water. I don't
alright.
need you to isekai.
Try it. You'll never know. It'll work.
Well,
Sure,
you
try.
shouldn't
All
let
right.
me get my hands on water because I'm an idiot and I have an OP quirk and I'm gonna be a villain now and cause chaos. 1 chapter, 1,000 words. This is not crack. It's got a male OC.
The OC is Johan from Monster. That's what he looks like and named after.
From the fucking manga monster?
Yep. And anime, yes. He looks and has the
This
same.
dude tries to copy the fucking opening to the goddamn anime and still fucks it up.
Yes.
He's got no
He copies
punctuation.
quirks and allows him to counter whatever quirk he's facing. Basically, he can't. What the fuck? Eraserhead only suppresses 40 to 50% of his quirk. That's not how.
Eraserhead only suppresses 50% of my quirk.
I think
Able to
Eraserhead
copy-
wishes he could
No, it
control that,
suppresses
to be
30.
honest.
He should have called this copy for one, because all he does is permanently copy any quirk with 70% of its total power, and he can combine quirks. He just
Oh my
copying
god,
quirks.
this ending for the first chapter.
Yeah.
So, the guy, this Zoomer.
this fourth
no,
wall
wait, no,
breaking?
this is not
Yeah.
Zoomer. This is an alpha, isn't it? 16-year-old. That's alpha.
Yeah. Yep. 16
This
years old.
alpha,
This man.
Gen Alpha shit pile is not even cursing. He's using ducking.
Excuse you?
This,
Yeah.
yes, he's using
And
one
Using
duck.
the forbidden words.
He's instead of writing fucking, he still wants to curse, so he bleeps himself with ducking.
This child is younger than Fumo's. His opinion does not matter.
Yeah, actually,
Younger
younger than Fumo, opinion disregarded.
This child should be sent to the mines because
Bro,
they clearly yearn
what
for
a
it.
fucking comparison. I can't. This motherfucker is younger than Fumos. That deserves a drink, cast. Seriously.
Thank you. I'm gonna drink for the fact you always choke for
slur
that.
statement.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, that's
Come to
stupid.
think of it, I died dumb way, woke up in body of child My Hero Academia.
Oh?
This sound like 16-year-old attempt to write OC story, lot of plot holes. Is this fourth wall breaking? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Am
I will
break
break
fourth
our
wall?
all over your skull.
Question
How's
mark,
about
question mark, question mark. Wait, dumb question. Course I am randomly capitalized. Well, hello then, internet. Welcome to Fanfiction. Suffer your entertainment.
Yeah. And you know
I
what's
don't
really
believe that
funny?
this
Of?
author should
Bad
definitely
fiction
suffer.
theory.
You know that 16-year-old because that stupid fucking fourth wall joke literally just like let you know that they are.
You made me depressed for our future as a country in ways that the political system never could.
Jesus Christ.
I would have just said, you are a testament to the American education system. Not a good one.
You're a monument to all of our sins.
The Great Fumo.
The Fumos are endless.
There we go. I have posted my review.
That man must be the most racist man alive.
What?
Sneaky. The most racist man of today versus the most racist man of history.
Indeed.
Who would win?
Indeed. I think Wildbow's other stories are underrated. After all, we have very interesting characters like Muhammad, peace be upon him, who is a literal demon trying to destroy existence by corrupting people.
La ilaha illallah.
And anyone who even comes close to associating with the being is instantly a person non grata, and the universe punishes them with bad karma.
Alright, so how is
Man.
this a self-insert of himself?
Wildbow is something else, I gotta say.
Yeah, you might say he's fucking wild.
I wish I was joking. No, see, here's the thing is I know Wildbow, so I know you could spout the most deranged shit to me, and I would instantly believe it because it's Wildbow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would believe it if you told me it's just another self-insert of him that, like, the most wild shit, and you go, yeah, that's just another self-insert of Wildbow, and I'd believe that.
Anyway.
Listen, you could tell me that Wildbow has been mainlining synthetic weed his entire life, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
That explains
Anyway,
everything.
so,
He should.
My review right on top of
we saw, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So yeah, we got female author who wants to fuck Toko, Chokoroki. Female author.
As
All Might
yeah.
is fatally wounded, defeating All for One 5 years before canon begins, without a successor and desperate to pass on his quirk before he dies. He gives it to a random little boy he sacrificed his life to save. Izuku Midoriya.
We should beat these people with hammers.
Changes?
Nothing except he's
Izuku
with one
fucks
beat.
Setsuna. That's the reptile one, right?
That's the reptile who can remove and move her limb.
These parts.
I had been reading Jujutsu, and I was about to say, what the fuck?
Yeah, 80,
No, sir. What changes is your blood pressure.
87
Oh, I think yours is already
chapters,
capped.
600,000. You've capped your blood pressure. That face when you hit the soft cap on your blood pressure, but you kept investing.
Bro, it's about to
God,
experience
this fic sounds like those shit.
No.
Killed.
Setsuna's the reptile. You're thinking of Ibaraki, the Christian.
Yeah.
Yes, Setsuna's
Shiozaki. Shiozaki.
can like split off her body parts and telekinetically control them.
You see, much like that one.
Ibaraki's a lolly from Fate.
Much like that one, much like that one Overwatch meme about how the guy who's never played Overwatch can tell you every single Overwatch character as long as they're female. I too can tell you every single My Hero Academia character so long as they're female.
I love that the one female he didn't recognize was like, I don't recognize her, I didn't see porn of her.
Yeah.
I thought no. She said I thought that was a guy.
Yeah.
Because he never saw porn of her. That was great.
Which is worrying that he got the robot chick right.
I mean, is it though?
Have you seen the 2B art?
Have you seen Toaster Fucker?
Praise
Yeah.
be to the Omnissiah for his great gifts.
I mean, have you
Listen,
seen
you
the
cannot-
Oh no, they would
heretical-
hate her. She's an abominable intelligence.
Well, I mean,
She's an abominable intelligence.
Human soul.
If you honestly believe
no,
the
she doesn't have a
mechanics
human soul.
don't have some abominable intelligence somewhere, I have a bridge to sell you.
Do you what was I gonna say? This fic reminds me of those shitty All Might accidentally kills all for ones. All the quirks he stole went everywhere, and it turns out Izuku got all for one fix. Like,
I hate
God,
that shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
yeah, no, that was a big thing. Like, what, 3 years ago-ish? I'd say 4.
I rarely
Where-
ever
No,
touch
no,
my hair.
I remember what Kaz was talking about, and it was a very
Oh my
stupid
fucking
era.
God.
It was
so dumb.
it was one fic that used it, and then everyone copied it as an excuse to give Izuku all for one. That didn't make all for one his dad.
Yep. It was so fucking stupid. It was so fucking dumb. It made no sense. Every single one of those fics died super quickly because the author was
Yep.
like, "Oh, where do I go from here?" It's like, "Yeah, dipshit, where do you go from here?"
Yeah. Oh shit! I gave everyone second quirks. I've got to write out techniques, training, everything for all those. What the fuck do I do?
Oh no, I've buried myself beneath a pile of bullshit. How do I get out?
Quick sign, dig deeper, find a new story to write.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's already got an MHA one. That's pretty subpar, but
I mean, that's just porn. I don't really count that as a story.
Yeah, it's porn.
yeah.
The Dungeon Crawlers JDSDF officer Momo Yakuhorizu didn't expect Magical Gate to appear in Miracle of Japan. But it did, and then the military showed up to repel it. It's up to Momo and a new squad to repel the World of Swords and Sorcery, Part 3 of other
Repel.
protagonists. Yeah, so, this is a Gate story without being called a Gate crossover. It's an AU where no one has quirks, and Momo is a JDSDF officer.
So it's
That's
a
fine.
renamed Gate story.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not a crossover. The author explicitly did not make it a crossover because all of the characters in Gate get replaced with the characters of MHA because it's a no power AU past story.
Okay, that makes it a fusion, dipshit.
You would think so, however.
You would think that. However, this author's retardation is too powerful.
The most powerful retard of today.
Unsurprisingly, they actually almost have more chapters than favorites.
Oh, of course.
Oof.
Can you do the other protagonist stories with Juro as a protagonist? She's such an underrated character. I want her in the spotlight. Well, considering that his other protagonist stories seem to be not making them the protagonists of MHA, instead making them protagonists of other fucking stories that don't matter in the MHA section, I don't really think I want them to do Juro.
That and Jiro's kind of a, bland character. She's fucking boring.
I wanted to make a taking a shower story in the personal hygiene section. Perhaps try a going outside arc and interacting with other humans.
That's level 2 is fanfiction.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I know it's.
I thought you were
it's a
making.
big
I thought you were making an Auschwitz joke.
I mean, we can go there if you want to, Cass. I wasn't intending on it.
No, we will not.
Listen, we will actually use mod abilities, and we will just start handing out bans.
We'll do it.
You guys, listen. You just gotta hold it in for the next 4 hours, and then you guys can talk about it off stream.
Talk about showers in a German accent. Yes, okay.
Listen, we're not trying to stop you from talking about it. We're just talking you from talking about it on stream.
Indeed.
Talk about it everywhere else.
It wasn't my fault.
I mean,
it wasn't my fault.
I think that's
Not
too
my
late.
fault.
We already talked about the fact that people killed themselves, and suicide's a big thing for Twitch. That gets you fucked.
Oh, I'm sure, but Twitch already hated me anyway. I just don't want them to kill my channel. There's a difference between killing my channel and deranking me.
Fair enough.
Izuku Midoriya, chosen by All Might to be the next wielder of One for All, expecting his life to be difficult. He didn't also expect to become the father figure to a young child, find true friends, become inspiration, be guided by remnants of previous OFA users. Okay, actually, that one's legitimate. I would also not expect my quirk to suddenly wake up and be like, yo, boy, I got a guide for you. It's like, wait, what the fuck? You
Hey
speak?
kid, you're
He
the
really.
avatar now.
Alright, so you know how you're in denial so much? Yeah, stop being in denial and get really fucking angry. Here's my quirk.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck Symbol is supposed to be. Symbol just looks like canon.
No, it looks like that he gets airy early, possibly. But the thing is, Izuku getting facing Overhaul early just ended him dead.
Yeah.
Like he barely won in the time zone that he faced Overhaul, and if you go any earlier, Izuku's just dying.
Well, see, I think the problem is once again, Japan's fucking infatuation with the rule of law and being like, oh, we can't kill this mafia boss who tortures children. That would make us as bad as him.
But we can have his hands disintegrated off.
Yeah, well, of course.
That is the righteous punishment for all sinners.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're going back to, what, 200 years ago where all thieves had their hands cut off?
Yeah.
No,
they
had
yesterday in
a
Saudi Arabia.
hand removed for the first offense.
I
Get
thought it was
your
third.
history right.
Wait, I thought it was third offense.
No, first offense is hand.
No, first offense depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Oh. I always thought it was third offense.
No, you died by your third offense.
Yeah.
You did not get a
hand
third
unless
offense.
then you were killed.
Yeah.
It was first offense was dominant hand. Second offense was non-dominant hand. If you somehow still kept stealing, third offense was death.
I mean, at that point, they just don't have
It's the other way around. Like they took your non-dominant hand first.
They kill you first? Okay.
Now, just to be clear, if you did do it a third time, they would first be like, I don't know how you fuck you managed this. You got no hands. I'm a little impressed, but I mean, you know.
I got a mouth. I can still steal food.
I would love to see a crossover of MHA with a Western story like Worm, where the American main character is a fan of punitive measures, with the rest of the Japanese class being like, WTF. Also, didn't the Japanese used to cut fingers off? Okay, no, okay, sort of, yes, but no. Okay, so the Yakuza used to cut fingers off to show their sincerity.
They also did it as a
message,
sort of a sincerity, sort of a punishment.
They would cut off their fingers when they did something wrong to show that they were still loyal.
But no,
it's an apology too. You would be asked
you're
to
all
show.
fucking missing the core of it. It's to show you're sincere. You can say sorry, but that doesn't mean anything unless you're chopping your finger off. You can say you promise, but that doesn't mean anything unless you're chopping your finger off. You can say things, but it doesn't mean anything unless you take action. And to the Yakuza, taking action meant something that was not... It wasn't going to fuck up your life. Like, missing your pinky finger wasn't going to fuck up your life. But it was going to be extremely painful, could possibly kill you, and also showed you were very serious about what you were saying.
Personal, painful self-sacrifice.
And yes, sometimes they would just start moving up the hand until they ran out of fingers.
Yeah.
The Yakuza who makes it to a senior position with all of his fingers is a very dangerous man.
Or a cowardly one.
Yeah.
No, most likely dangerous.
A Yakuza that made it all the way up without losing a single finger?
Yep.
No, because remember they would also cut their fingers off to be like, forgive me, I'll do better next time.
Yeah, they don't just do it on a whim. If he hadn't lost any fingers, he hasn't ever fucked up. Or fucked up bad enough to sacrifice a finger.
I mean, it's sort of like 50-50. I mean, like, so I'm going to take the Yakuza games with a grain of salt, obviously, but They did have an interview with a bunch of Yakuza members being like, yeah, that's real, yeah, that's real, yeah, that's real.
Mhm.
So, it's a grain of
That's
salt,
bullshit.
but there was enough to make the Yakuza guys go, yeah, this is like a pretty legitimate Yakuza plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
The punching a tiger is a bit weird. 2 tigers or lions is a bit weird, but everything
The
else is
punching a
pretty cool.
tiger's a little weird, but damn, he looks cool doing it.
I just want
Yes,
to know what their reaction to the dude dodging like 6 RPGs was.
point being, though, is in one of the scenes in Yakuza, the guy cuts off his finger to show his sincerity to cover
Yakuza
for
0,
someone
yeah.
else who fucked up.
I'm fascinated how that evolved from the initial thing of like when everyone still carried swords. You'd remove the pinky because that fucked up your control of your sword.
Yeah.
Like that's an old thing. I'm fascinated at how that evolved into this is now a show of remorse
Telephone.
or conviction or so on and so
Telephone
Sounds like a game of
inspiration.
telephone.
I mean, you know, people looking, you know, it's one of those things where it could have died off for a while, so it kind of lost relevancy, and then someone who was looking into the past was like, oh, this is like a great show of sincerity, completely misunderstanding like the circumstances, and then being like, to show my sincerity for this, I will cut my finger off, and he does it, and everyone's like, holy shit, that's fucking hardcore.
Alternately, it could have just been some leader going, no, you know what? Fuck it. You want to show me you're sincere, you're going to need to make a sacrifice. Cut off a fucking finger for me.
Yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of ways it could have resurged, but it definitely was a resurgence through telephone, not through, like, oh, it was a tradition handed through down to the generations.
Yeah.
Handed down, eh?
A lot of Yakuza stuff,
It's not something you should be light-fingered with.
indeed, no half-handing it.
Yeah.
No.
It was a lot of the Yakuza traditions and inspirations, as far as my research went, they aren't so much as, you know, this is a tale of honor told through the ages, and it's more like a criminal gang who started up, wanted to find ways of legitimacy, and unlike the emperor, they can't declare themselves the kami-sent leader, so instead they call upon samurai clans and honor and, you know, other things that culturally are relevant that wouldn't make them be burned at the stake for heresy.
Yeah.
Can we stop with stupid Tanya crossovers? We don't need some of the
No.
ideas that people come out with. The most I've seen recently is Tanya Wayne, a young, yeah.
It looks like 1 or 2 specific
No, I mean,
people
that one
did
was
those.
kind of funny. The Tanya ends up in hell, but she gets summoned into DC, except she's, like, not evil, so Bruce doesn't kick the shit out of her.
Wait. That
Are we talking
sounds
about
kind of
Tanya?
interesting, actually. Has that been linked?
No, I
Yeah,
don't think
it's
that one's
still-
been
I think
linked.
in the
Let me,
SDM.
yeah, let
I
me
think
grab
in
that.
the SDM.
Well, drop a link here, please.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Yeah, Young Devils consultancy firm.
Etrigan summons Tanya. You're not a demon.
That's where you're wrong.
She's a devil. A
Yeah.
devil of the Rhine.
She's a rebel.
Devil of the Rhyme? She's a rapper?
Devil of the Rhine.
No,
Devil
No,
of the
actually-
rhyme.
Ryan.
You know,
Like that's
if Tanya grew up in like Detroit or something, yeah, maybe.
Oh, fuck off.
You know, I can just like laugh at the idea of the tale of Tanya being passed down through the ages, and it gets so telephoned, she becomes a literal demon who is known as the Devil of Rhyme.
For ice, wielding ice and unholy armaments.
Yes, indeed.
Final Fantasy 16, but replace Jill with Tanya.
Indeed. But I mean, yeah, no, like I have a problem with a lot of Tanya ideas because I actually don't have a problem with Tanya at all. It's the authors that are like
Yeah.
brain dead.
Shit.
I
Yeah.
still hate that like brain dead JJK crossover where she gets 10 shadows, except he gives her angels for the first one, the same 10 shadows. Just because he thought, oh, it'd be neat if she had angels instead of demon dogs.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of it is literally all the same. She just changed the first.
Like I think the real problem is with Tanya authors is they're all autistic. Every last one of them is autistic. And unfortunately, a majority of these autists are not the sort of autists who are capable of learning. And so they went through their whole life not understanding why no one likes them. And just repeating
You
the
mean
same
Waldo?
actions over and over again with every new person they meet, and then being shocked when the new person acts exactly like everyone else has ever acted towards them.
Weird how you're just describing Wildbow.
Oh, I was describing Sign, but I mean, yeah, Wildbow too.
Yes, I have a mild case of autism.
Yeah, mild. Yeah. You got a mild case of
Mild.
autism, like fucking Ricky over here's
Truly.
got a mild case of Dorito love.
And
I
I've got a
haven't
mild
had
case of
Doritos
alcoholism.
in like a year and a half.
Oh wow!
You know what?
I'm very happy for
That's
you.
actually really good for you. Be healthy, bro.
What is it? Character growth? No way.
Character growth in my stream? Can't have that.
Not happening.
Hey, it's
buddy.
more it's more character growth than Arn's ever displayed. So
No.
I disagree about Wildbow being autistic. He found a cult in Cauldron who will suck him off. Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. Honestly, Wildbow's less autistic and he's more schizophrenic with delusions of grandeur, and he definitely you could definitely feel his writing. At which point, when he got famous and people started telling him how good he was, and then his writing quality got progressively more questionable.
Worse.
Up its own ass.
Don't do sign like that. At least he understands how relationships work. He understands how
doesn't. He writes
relationships
porn.
work as much as Kanye West does.
Oh.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I think he has a lot of pent-up aggression because he was bullied as a child for his disability. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, no shit.
Absolutely.
Wait, it's Cider Wild though.
Yes.
Listen. There's many things I'll accuse Sign of. Personal moral failings, the inability to get things done on time,
Fair.
some pretty
Ability to
bad
move upstairs.
character writing,
Fair.
poor grasp of social situations, but anger's
Fair.
not one of them.
Yeah.
Then you don't know me well.
No, he's
Yeah,
fearless.
no jokes. Just listen. I was just doing that for comedic effect. I know almost.
Oh, I
everything
know.
about Sign.
No, Wildbow's definitely got and like I'll say a lot of shit about Wildbow. I will never say that he isn't justified to a certain level. What I will do is I'll say that he's let his life experiences bias him in such a way that his ability to interact with the world is heavily impaired. You can clearly see throughout his writing of Worm that he's got major authority issues, and knowing how he writes some of his characters, it can be definitely very justifiable in these opinions he holds. But you can see throughout Worm that he lets those opinions affect him far too much, and it drastically decreases the quality of the story and the ability to believe the events occurring in the story because of his obsessive hatred for the effigies he's created.
Wasn't some of his biases like kind of his own making? Like he wasn't didn't he reveal during his his like what was it, like his autobiography or whatever, on when he was writing Worm and shit, that he admitted that he was like that he was a liar, a compulsive liar and shit, and he was always just
Yes.
fucking off.
Yes, but he also blamed all the teachers on his compulsive lying and on his fucking. They tried to help him.
Yes, yes, he was a compulsive liar who would constantly skip school, and then also got angry at authority figures for getting angry at him for doing both of those things.
Reminder: Taylor is his SI.
Yeah.
One of them. He's got it. Basically, all of his characters are
Taylor
different stuff.
and Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that says a.
Yeah, he's
whole
got like I said, he's got a lot of issues, and you can clearly tell that the authority figures in the story are heavily biased by his worldview and his inability to let go of those feelings.
Yep.
You also have to realize that he admitted that the characters in his works were, by the most part, self-inserts of each part of him. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Bro is literally making schizophrenic caricatures of himself.
I mean, he's literally schizophrenic, so...
Makes sense, yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, as an author, you can't help but put some of yourself into any of the characters you're writing.
Oh, no, certainly, but...
No. That's just a fact of writing.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a fact of writing where you basically take various traits and you cobble them together into another functional character, and it helps you better emphasize with the character you're writing. Certainly. But it's one thing to be like, oh, I took my anger and made it into this character, and being like, oh, this character is literally my anger, and they're my representation about how I want to lash out against the world. And it's like, okay, that's taking a little bit farther. It's like, one is just a character, the other becomes an effigy for your schizophrenia.
It's Wildbow.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, Also, he did definitely let his racial opinions and his opinions on women and his opinions on certain other denominations heavily affect his depictions of them in his stories.
Man. Trying to be a racist, but your opponent is Wildbow. Difficulty impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. He outright admitted that all bullies weren't black, so he had to imagine what it'd like to have a black bully in Shadowstalker.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, in his biography, he said he had to imagine what it would be like to have a black female bully.
Well, you see, okay, so Wildbow grew up in Canada, a very white section of Canada, of French Canada.
Yeah.
And so he's never really met black people. And so the only black people he's met, he's come off with a very negative opinion of, which gets displayed in a lot of his works, where he displays them as overly aggressive, drug-ridden thieves, murderers, pedophiles.
Skidmark,
Brian,
even just in Worm.
Coyle.
Yeah, Brian, Aisha.
Skidmark is a fucking hilarious name for a black character. Holy shit.
Yeah, I can't. No, can't say that on stream.
Yeah, he's definitely got some opinions. He's definitely got some opinions about some minority groups that he is not great at separating from his work. But anyway, also it's very telling that as a French Canadian, he went and made it that this one guy who's a serial rapist is actually in control of the French government.
And is French Canadian.
Yep.
That's just normal. That's just what they do up there.
Yeah. The E88 were his spirit animals. Well, he definitely pumped them up a lot. So, yeah, it is very interesting. I mean, it's also how he saw America. You have to keep in mind. He saw America as this refugee mash board. Also, Nazis are everywhere.
It's like he's never been to America.
Well, that's because he hasn't.
Weird, huh?
He even made the E88 super sympathetic as a group, and also made everyone just accepting of them, which is two things that would pretty much not happen. One of the characters in his latest main work is a black girl who is basically Shadowstalker 2, but in a super exaggerated version of Shadowstalker, who constantly brings up social justice.
That's
No
impressive.
fucking way. Okay, so what is this here?
Yeah. We talked about this
think
before
of recent
when we looked at
protests.
the other
Oh
team.
yeah, you posted this before. Yeah, he is. Yeah, like I said, he's. You can really tell that his cult is heavily influencing how he writes, but he's still racist at the end of the day.
The one thing I can't fault him for, I guess.
Besides being French Canadian.
Yeah. Like I'll be racist against him too. It's fine.
Oh, okay, that evens it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck is this shit? Okay, wait, okay, so chapter 1 is literally just a fucking dumbass blurb. Multiple genres. Rape is not a genre, author.
Yes.
Average AO3 writer.
Moshi, please, desu.
And he even has the fucking cojones to put non-consensual sex in here as an alternative to rape.
AO3 author coming onto FFN.
Jesus Christ.
Just say rape. It's already looks shit. You're just making it like making yourself look like a bitch.
Don't say it. Don't do it.
They just have non-consensual
Sorry,
sex.
that would be better. Yes.
Okay, look. There's a very minuscule number of times that adding that could improve your story, but boy, do you have to be a really talented and skilled author to do it correctly, and
they write fanfiction.
You're not.
Yeah. Violence.
I don't care who you are on the internet.
Psychological horror. Yeah.
You're writing fucking space battles.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry. I want to be real here. I'm really sick of this multi-genre shit. Like, I am really sick of this multi-genre shit. Just because characters are kissing in your story doesn't make it a romance. Just because someone has religion in their story doesn't make it a supernatural. Just because people die doesn't make it horror. Just because people are friends, just because people are friends doesn't make it a friendship story. Just because people are, stirring shit up as in a normal college/high school environment doesn't make it a drama story. Just because you punch people doesn't make it an action story.
The problem is that they don't have enough defining traits in it. Nothing stands out within the plot to make it fit into any one genre or another. It's all just a bland soup of bullshit.
Right, but then you would just call it action adventure.
No. There's not even enough action or adventure to justify that, usually.
I mean, there usually is, because fanfiction authors don't really know how to write anything but drama, angst, and adventure. Like, that's all they really know how to do. It's just, I'm just really fucking tired of people being like, oh yeah, my story, I just kept checking boxes on what genre it is. It's like, that's not what a genre is. A genre is a defining core characteristic of the story. Like, fucking people are illiterate these days.
Yes, we've gone over that multiple
know.
times.
Yeah, that's
These
Like that
days?
fucking. I know I sent it. I know I sent the tweet to Max. I'm pretty sure I sent the tweet to Max. That fucking tweet about that girl who was like, "Why is it saying Melinda on the first page of
that
my book?"
fucking tweet.
And
Oh,
someone was like, "It's because the author was saying that the book was written in their name." And they're like, "Yeah, but my name's not Melinda." It's like,
yeah.
Ooh, that pissed me off.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
It's just so pathetic and sad.
random illegal immigrant steals severed leg from train accident and starts eating it.
Huh?
California.
Huh?
California.
Just
California.
California things.
California.
California nutrition.
California moment.
Ugh, that's savage. Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I'm just so fucking tired of people not understanding what a genre is. I'm honestly tired of fan fiction in general because these fan fictions just don't know when to just stop.
Yeah, I mean, I have been half quit reading fan fiction for like the last 3 or 4 years now. I barely read fan fiction outside of coming on this podcast occasionally.
Yeah.
And even that is Rex from people I actually know.
I mean, I pretty
I
much
don't
don't
go
really
looking
search
for
my
stuff.
original shit anymore. I mostly just survive off of Rex at this point.
Yeah, it's like stuff from SDM, mostly either you or Grace.
It's like I've pretty much read everything that was remotely good on FFN and Space Battles and Sufficient Velocity and QQ, and at this point, it's just newer shit is
really
just
worth
so bad. It's so derivatively generic and garbage, and everyone wants to do a gamer fucking waifu catalog story where they get all of the women and they're super buff and have so much strength, and then it dies after 2 chapters because the author just wanted to have their momentary power fantasy and didn't know what it meant to write a story. And it's like, okay, fine.
But Sneaky, if you don't like, don't read.
And anything can happen in fanfiction, don't you know?
Exactly.
Why don't you
Argent Torm is making a Taylor and Genshin story, and it's one of his weaker ones. Of course, it'd be one of his weaker ones. Literally, there's
Why doesn't
nothing.
he work on his commissions?
Yeah.
Yes, like
Like
we work on his commissions.
We
Sign,
would
we
know
rib
Why
about the comms. You are far better with your comms
Yeah, listen.
than Argentorum is.
You don't have.
basically
You don't have
backstab his community.
3-year-olds. You don't have 3-year-olds.
Argent Torm took a comm list of 200 people long and then didn't get back to them for 4 years.
Oof.
He
4
barely
years old.
He's
Sorry.
barely updated his own stories. Like he'll poke them every once in a while, and I'll get like, "Oh, he's still alive."
Yeah, the only time he ever updates his stories is to remind everyone he has an original story and he would really like you to buy it, and then you're just like, no.
No.
Fuck off.
I liked you for your fan fictions. Your original story is crap.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
Like I was entertained by your fan fiction. I don't give a fuck about your original shit.
Yeah,
Get back to the fan fiction.
I just don't see Taylor in Genshin doing anything.
She doesn't fit the setting.
Yeah,
Not only does she not fit the setting, she is so hilariously underpowered compared to God Who Made Money, Wind Twink, and Demon from the Stars.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're gonna make her the Traveler.
And Cabbage Daughter.
Yes. Oh, and Zombie Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zombie Girl.
Well, it's just the other
He
thing,
doesn't
though, is
make-
like, right.
Basically, every character with powers is technically superhuman in some capacity.
Yes,
Even
quite
the
literally.
maid has a shield that stops her bugs, so she's.
But quite literally though, it's like even if you make her the Traveler, the Unknown God would have to seal her off then, and so Taylor would probably lose her fucking power set. And the thing is that right, Lumine actually has a backstory. Lumine and Aether, but Lumine actually has a backstory of how this is not her first crossover. You know, this is not the first world. She's been doing this for literally thousands of years, so she's skilled with every weapon. She's skilled with using magic off the bat. Like, oh, new magic, boom, boom, ice shards, wind blast, boom, boom, boom. Like, doesn't even take her any time. Literally, canonically, she is so experienced that she can be introduced to new magic, and with her first cast, she already understands it. That's canon.
Sounds right.
Yep.
Taylor has none of that. So even if you removed all of Lumine's
according to the
power-ups-
fandom, she has all.
Yeah, right. But if you removed all of Lumine's power-ups, she's still an incredibly skilled, intelligent person who's also quite powerful just by existing. Taylor has determination and mind control powers.
Psychopathy.
And women. But no, but for real. Yeah, she's got nothing. She's got bare bones weapons training. She's got bare bones physical conditioning. She's got she's got crazy multitasking, but that comes from her shard, not from her. And if she's been cut off from her shard, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, she's just a normal girl at that point.
And even then, say she keeps her crazy multitasking. Still fairly useful. Except the problem is her body can't keep up, and her power set can't keep up. Okay, so she gets wind powers, and she's gonna multitask, shooting multiple wind blasts. Except actually, she doesn't have the power pool that the main character does from Genshin Impact.
No.
Unless you author fiat it to have her unlimited air power and unlimited every other power that she gets from the god statues. Unless you author fiat that, then she's going to be able to cast what? 3 air blasts at the same time and then become tired?
Woo!
She's certainly not going to be able to run around all day like Lumen or Aether does.
Also, on top of that, she wouldn't put up with Paimon.
Oh yeah.
No, she'd strangle Paimon.
He wouldn't have, not even Paimon, she wouldn't have put up with the Knights of Mondstadt because they're an authority figure.
She's still
They'll learn Lex
No, she doesn't get power. She doesn't get power from being a descender. So she gets the ability to gain all of the elemental powers from being a descender. She doesn't get a power up for being a descender.
Yep. She doesn't get a better body. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't get any sort of advantage from that other than being able to accept all powers into it.
Yeah, that all of that stuff is literally stuff that Lumine had from being a traveler. That's not from Lumine descending.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just there's not, and Taylor wouldn't get involved with a lot of the side quests. Yeah, she could be like, "Oh, I'm going to be more heroic," but
no.
Well, no. Near the end,
she wants to be heroic.
No. Near the end, she 100% wanted to be heroic, and she didn't regret her actions of everything she did. And writing Taylor as a regretful veteran who survived something she shouldn't have is a very classic way to do Golden Morning, and I fully approve of it, not just because I'm also doing it, but because it's a good fucking narrative.
Yeah.
It also helps do something that's really hard, which is redeem Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
Taylor is a shitbag.
Yeah. She's a high horse, moral busybody who justifies a lot of her crimes through retroactive justifications and moral grandstanding and gymnastics. And
oh, it's okay. They're Nazis. Oh, it's okay. They're drug.
I know I just killed the number one hero in the world. Yeah, that too. I know I just killed the number one hero in the world, but it's okay because she threatened my friends. It's like
And if she'd own it, it'd be fine, but she doesn't. She chose to
It's
just
always
moralize.
justifications. It's always justifications. It's never, I had to do it because it was, genuinely for the best. At least Coil was justified. Yeah, Coil was her one actual non-justification needed. The rest of them were always Taylor gaslighting herself into justifying it.
It's like, all right, well, Alexandria, you know what? No, I killed the bitch because she threatened my friends. Period. End of. She deserved to die.
No, she
Not
negotiated
justified
in
it,
bad
just
faith.
fucking killed her.
Yeah, she negotiated in bad faith, and basically came into the scenario knowing the words that would hurt Taylor the most, and then didn't realize the consequences of fucking around.
Asta, she literally just made she had to shoot a baby.
Well, okay,
So
so she's partially justified with Aster, if only because I wouldn't subject a baby to the tender mercies of the Slaughterhouse 9.
Yeah.
yes, okay, the mercy kill aspect, again, I get that, but we're right back to the document I made about her justifying killing the baby because Jack Slash, she's not mercy killing it, she's killing it to save the world.
Yeah, and I also brought that up, and Aliophile tried to bring up, other people mentioned that, the baby should be killed because of just leaving it with Jack Slash is also terrible, but it's like, yeah, but that wasn't part of Taylor's initial
part of her reasoning.
assessment, yeah.
Yeah, that's not how Taylor's brain works. She doesn't care about that shit. She's looking at it like, wow, I've got to save the world, and somebody in here needs to die to do that.
This baby is in the way of that. I'm gonna flatten this baby. I'm gonna punt this baby. I'm gonna post-abortion the baby.
She's gonna drop. She's
gonna
gonna
drop
baby death.
Yeah, total baby death.
We're gonna retroactively abort this baby.
Yeah, Taylor with a Glock.
Post-birth abort this baby.
She's taking notes from Hazel, child beater.
Indeed, but yeah,
no,
it's just like
Hazel child beater takes notes from her.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, so it's like Taylor is a very complicated character in very interesting narrative ways you can use her. Like, I really liked Argentorum's Taylor in MHA story where she had a passive mind control field around her at all times.
Around her.
Yep. I thought that was pretty neat, and she goes full sicko mode later on when the villains attack USJ, and they're like, "Oh, we'll free this villain locked inside," and she's like, "Actually, I walked myself in
that was
here."
all an accident. Yeah, that was all an accident.
And then she got what's the ecto
No,
teleporter guy?
she didn't say I'm a hero. She owned up to being a villain, and she's like, "Well, actually, I wanted to be in here, but since you're gonna kill these kids, eyes glow."
The only one that gets to kill kids is me.
A justifiable scale.
It's interesting that you have decided to commit suicide. No, we haven't. Yes, you have.
Case-53s. Oh yeah, that's right. She fucking killed all those Case-53s. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, weren't those all irredeemably crazy because they'd been mind wiped?
Yes, but no. There was a big Case-53 revolution where they're like, down with Cauldron, they tortured us and destroyed our lives.
Took our memories and made us like this. And
Yeah,
then Taylor's like, no, we need you as soldiers, fam.
Yeah, well, A, she was like, A, we need you as soldiers. B, you're kind of interrupting our whole plan to save the entire galaxy. And so she just fucking kills them all.
You're interrupting my plan to save the galaxy by killing everybody. How does that save the galaxy? Don't worry about it.
I have killed everybody.
Yeah, so, I mean, they just chose a really bad time to rebel. It's more or less my point.
You rebelled at the wrong time.
Kills the guy with the best powers for the job. Classic Taylor. Yeah, real. Yeah, that's another thing that Taylor would do. She'd be like, oh, I'm going to get rid of this person. I know they're going to be useful and valuable, but I don't like them. So that's all the justification I need.
Despite the fact that, it happened... the end of Worm happened, 2 or 3 years after the start of it? Was it?
Yeah,
how long
like that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she never grew up at all.
Yeah, no.
She stayed the same. completely. She was still
Now-
that 15-year-old shoved in.
But I will say, like I said, right at the end, she had a whole moment of reflection of just being like, I look back on everything and I don't regret it. And it's like, all right, well, you know, I don't respect your opinion, but I respect the spirit.
I don't respect you, but I can respect your chutzpah.
Basically.
Just to be clear, that wouldn't stop me from encountering Taylor and being like, you self-righteous bitch, you need to die.
Yeah. And then she'll try to kill you.
Yes.
she doesn't
Forbidden
like you.
power.
Not because
No, see, the greatest way to destroy anyone that's from the Northeast is simply to put, like, chili powder in their clam chowder. That's the easiest way to do it.
But that's how I eat all my clam chowder.
No,
You're not from the
Yeah,
Northeast.
you're not from the Northeast. You're from Jersey.
Yeehaw,
Doesn't count.
motherfucker, you're getting invaded.
Ugh.
Do you really want to invade the land of garbage streets and high taxes?
Joke's on you, behind every street corner lies a single cannon. It is an 18-pounder.
Do I really want to invade another place that has garbage streets and high taxes?
Give him a
Yeah,
moment. I'm
it's
thinking about it.
basically home ground.
Yep.
At least our streets do something
How the
besides follow the
fuck?
curve of the road.
Fuck you.
How the fuck do I brick in Yu-Gi-Oh 4 fucking duels? What the fuck?
Because you're
Because
Well,
you're
you-
bad.
you
It sounds like a skill issue.
Kill yourself.
Yeah.
literally skill
I-
issue.
Half of my deck
Skill
is
issue.
monsters, over half.
Skill
and I haven't
issue.
gotten one in my hand
Skill
in
issue.
4
Hey.
duels.
Skill
Hey,
issue.
hey,
Skill
Cass,
issue.
you triggered my trap card. Take a shower.
I do. I take
Impossible
2 a
challenge.
day.
You triggered my trap card. Play a better TCG. Magic.
Now that's real. Killionaire says, if you wish to deal with the
Funny joke.
Northerners, take away the air conditioning. Yes, that is real. If the degrees of air get above 70, I just start melting actively.
Yeah. Imagine having air condition. Because imagine it getting so hot that you actually need air condition, bro.
Well,
Good
look,
thingy.
I'm saying 70 is sweltering.
Yo! I just
Yeah,
realized
right.
we could put
Hang on.
Arn in Vegas and he would die.
70 Fahrenheit to Celsius.
I mean, you can just
Oh
bring
yeah,
anyone to
it's sneaky,
Australia.
21 Celsius, that's positively toasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's fucking like
I mean-
literal nuclear.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just bring them to
Waste
Australia
time.
where our humidity go below 97%. No one will breathe.
Yeah, you
Well,
see,
well, no, yeah.
Australians aren't human.
I know we aren't.
That's kind of
Yeah.
part of the deal with the devil you guys made to actually live down there.
Yeah. So anyway, forbidden power. Izuku has hidden power. Izuku has hidden his power. Oh no, guys, he's hiding his power level.
No.
Izuku's about to pop
Oh, no.
off.
Is it?
He's
Is it
about to
over
say some
9,000?
racist shit.
For years
When I
after since he
stop hiding my
discovered it.
power level, you're
But
gonna hear
all
some
things
racist
must
shit.
come to an end. As soon as someone discovers his power level, and he must learn to live with his power level and everything that comes with it. Enjoy my trash. No.
No.
What the fuck? Female author alert. On the road to hell, as much as life changed for Dobby, he's realizing it hasn't changed all that much. He might not be a vagabond anymore, but he still finds himself in the bathrooms a lot, listening to people cry.
He might not be a vagabond, but he's also
It's
still
a
not human.
gay love story!
Ugh.
Oh my god,
He's-
that's so cute.
I mean, he's also
Gay
still
love
not
story.
human anymore. Go on.
Deku Ex Machina. Deku is robot. Katsuki will prove he is robot no matter the cost. This is a Drabble series. No robots were harmed. 301 chapters, 500 words a chapter.
Ew.
Jesus Christ.
You make Izuku a robot, and instead you make a Katsuki Drabble series instead of Maze. Wanting to
Yeah.
fucking nerding over.
Do a flip.
Do a flip.
Do a flip.
I'll give you $30 extra if you flip.
What if I'm not alive for those $30? Take it off.
Here, I Venmo'd it to you.
What's your PayPal?
Venmo message. Do a flip when you kill yourself.
Jump. Extras mingled about the school entrance like drooling, knuckle-dragging chimpanzees. Gawking at the green-haired silhouette standing on the roof's edge, Katsuki watched from further away and glowered at the backs of everyone's heads. "Don't do it," one kid called jokingly. "You have so much to live for." "Do a flip," another urged. Katsuki sneered at them. They pointed and shouted without a care in the world, blind to the danger that the thing posed to them all. Machines ran their cars, their microwaves, the hospitals, tricking humans into relying on them. Good. Katsuki is going full Luddite. He shall show them all the light of Lud.
The Luddite path.
Don't you understand? The machines are making you into sheep.
Indeed. It was only a matter of time before they pulled the plug and watched as everyone drowned. Katsuki growled, popping nitroglycerin in his hands. "Truly, Katsuki shall be the Knight of Lud. Inshallah." It's a Star Sector joke. You guys won't get it.
The question is, do we want to get it?
No.
There's a faction of
no, that's
technology-hating
right.
Star Sector people who view the entire Stargate network collapsing as a holy sign that humans weren't meant to colonize the galaxy, and have strapped bombs to the... And then an extremist faction of them strap bombs to oil tankers and ram them into military fleets. There's a new Knights of Blood mod out already? Like, actually new? Or is this just one that you found recently and it's been out for a while and I already knew about it?
Who can say?
Because I have them all. I might participate in the occasional Irish greeting.
Don't drive your car
Yes.
tomorrow.
Given your choice of D&D characters,
came out last
I
month.
am not surprised.
Nice. Yeah, no, I have to say I really do like the IED fuel tankers, because there's nothing quite like a ship twice the size of your average capital ship, filled to the brim with fuel with bombs attached all around it, driving straight into the center of your fleet, and no matter how much you fire your guns at it, it's not stopping.
You can't detonate it before it gets there with a missile or something?
You can. Got a lot of armor, though. It's a fuel tanker. It's a space fuel tanker filled with antimatter fuel. It's got a lot of armor.
Oh, well, you're fucked then.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point.
Inshallah.
I think my favorite thing ever was I encountered a IED fleet one time and shot a nuke at the lead IED, and it set off a chain reaction that blew up the whole fleet in one truly disgraceful, lag-inducing, eyebrow-singeing, eye-melting explosion as my entire screen turned blinding white and the THX sound blared from my speakers.
The audience is now...
I exist without my consent. Oh no.
And I'm about to make it your problem.
Yes, the classic onslaught. It's basically a rite of passage for every single person that makes a really good mod to have an onslaught clone. It's just so good, though. Like, it's such a good ship structure. The saddest thing is I know every single one of the mods. Every single mod that shows up in that GIF. Look, I play a lot of Star Sector, okay? I'm really happy that the amount of hours I have in Star Sector isn't being recorded anywhere because it's a fucking lot.
No.
Oh, yeah, drop that link, by the way. I would like to take a look at that. He would become the #1 hero and expose Deku for what he really was. A teacher, noticing the students hadn't scurried off like startled rats, stepped outside and saw the cause of commotion. Midoriya, please come down. It's not safe up there. Understood, Deku called back. Deku jumped. Katsuki snickered as the teacher scrambled out of the way. Phones waved about as each student jockeyed for the best view of their falling classmate. With a thunderous crack and a screech of warped metal, Deku hit the ground in a kneeling pose. Concrete cracked and buckled in a circle around him. The useless extras oohed and awed as Deku stood and dusted himself off. The knee he landed on refused to straighten all the way. Noticing this, the teachers rushed over and said, "Oh, no god, Midoriya, would you like me to drive you to the hospital?" "No need, this is a simple repair." As Deku sat down, he pulled back his jeans.
This sounds boring as fuck.
It is.
What is this retarded shit?
So, Deku's a robot, and Katsuki's determined to prove to everyone that Deku's a robot and not just someone with a quirk that makes him a robot. Deku sat down and pulled his jeans. Katsuki shouldered his way past the extras, a blade protruding from Deku's finger. He slid it down his skin and peeled it back. Underneath, coils of wires wound around gleaming steel beams. His kneecap, warped into a knot, glistened with a layer of oil. Clear membrane held back bright red fluid, a pale imitation of blood. See, he's nothing but metals and wires on the inside. Duh, it's a quirk. It's not a quirk. It's a lie. Made up to trick you all into thinking he's human. Shut up. I want to see this. A beam of plasma from another finger seared through the twisted metal like butter. Deku pulled out the lump, popped it in his mouth, and swallowed, welding his leg shut. Moments later, Deku tested his new knee, as everyone crowded around, asking Deku a million questions about his quirk. The teacher reminded them all that class was over, and they must disperse. Bakugo suddenly looked back at Deku as the teacher fussed over his formerly broken leg, and vowed that one day he would make them all see the truth. Deku was a robot.
That's so dumb.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already have this. Knights of Blood. Yeah, I already have Knights of Blood. I am, yes, the IED ship. They also overclock the engines and make them extremely unstable for extra speed.
I mean, that's just good thinking.
Oh, actually, you know what? This might be an alternative Knights of Blood mod because I've never seen the ablative armor before. That's what I really like about the newer versions of Star Sector is people are coming out with some really cool shit like ablative armor, where parts of your ship will break off mid-combat after it takes enough damage.
Ablative armor.
Yeah, whatever.
No.
It's a real thing that tanks use today.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. And before now, the engine for Star Sector didn't support it.
Really? It didn't?
Yeah.
That's an honest to God skill.
Bro, the original Star Sector was quite literally ASCII art.
Oof.
Yeah, it was ASCII art running on Java 3.
Oof. Well, here I go trying to buy this shit now. Can you play it multiplayer or is it only single player?
It's single player only. There is a multiplayer mod, but it's like,
Janky.
Yeah. Who would you even play it multiplayer with?
I don't fucking know.
You don't have friends.
I mean, I presume he wants to play with you, Sneaky, but I don't think that's gonna happen now.
I don't.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
I know, right? That's so strange.
Oh, that just fell off the table, so to speak. And Sign can't bend down to pick it up.
You fuck off.
Also, flex ships. What the absolute fuck, man! Star Sector authors are a little bit on crack.
Slightly on the Zaza. They have been hitting
Night
that
vessels use
zoink machine.
antique shielding that's powerful first generation, can only be used a limited number of times and get stronger. Nice. I like that. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
That's cool. You know, I appreciate the creative shit that these authors come up with, because it definitely adds a lot of flavor to the game. But even better is that the four dudes. Oh yeah, I saw the ball ships. Yeah, the four dudes that work on this game are just like, oh, everyone really likes this mod. It's canon now. It's now part of the game.
I mean, listen, I get the same energy from Star Sector that I get from the guys who made Dwarf Fortress, which, by the way, they went on a complete fucking tear at GDC ranting about greedy fucking devs. So there's at least a couple of good developers out there that have not been changed by their literal millions of dollars.
Woo.
Yeah, and it's always good. You know. Well, I mean, did you see the other shit at GDC?
Which?
The commie propaganda?
Dude, you gotta be more specific. Like, what?
Oh,
Do you mean the people protesting that were laid off?
Well, there is that, but I was also talking about the presentation that someone was giving about why communism is good for developers, and why we should include more communistic thoughts in our games to promote communism to a wider audience.
I mean, no, listen.
Like I'm not having enough alcohol to do with that sort of.
Here's the thing. I fully support the developers who were laid off because yes, many of them were laid off for bullshit.
They're also garbage, so. I mean, look, I recognize part of it is from the publisher end, but just following orders isn't an excuse.
No.
No, it's not.
What do you mean the Nuremberg defense doesn't work anymore?
Yeah.
No, but here's the problem. There's two different sets of people that have been laid off. One set of them is a group of people that have been laid off because of the absolute stupidity of companies like the Embracer Group, where they bought 40 or 50 game companies, then said, oops, we bought too many companies, we have to close studios and shut projects down. Perfectly normal projects that were on track to succeed otherwise, but these guys they bought too many, so they had to shut them down. Like, yeah, I'd be pissed off if I lost my job because of that. I would be protesting at the biggest game conference if I lost my job because of that.
Yeah, the problem, however, though, is that a lot of those devs who were protesting the Sweet Baby Ink Detected group.
As they should.
What? No, they were protesting.
They should protest SBI.
No. They were protesting the Steam group.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, because I heard there was a group of people protesting that. I heard there was a group of people who were protesting because they got fired because of bullshit, and I was like, yes.
Look. My position on it.
Bullshit, but the question is, what are they considering bullshit?
Yeah, well,
like fired without warning, or fired because they're actually garbage at their job?
Right. Okay. So
knowingly garbage at their job.
It's going to be a mixed bag, of course, and I mean, unfortunately, the truth of the matter is that the people that suck up to HR the most are the people who probably didn't get fired, which tends to be the people who suck the most, and they suck up to HR because they're so fucking incompetent at their job, but the only way they'll ever keep it is by schmoozing with the people that decide who gets to keep their jobs. And yeah, I do understand a lot of these people and their complaints. However, my counterpoint is if you're so good at your job, just go fucking make a game. There's plenty of you all around. If you look to your left and you look to your right, there's a whole shit ton of other fucking people who have no fucking job anymore, and they're all game devs, so just get together and make a fucking game. If you're so good at your fucking jobs and you don't deserve to be fired, just make a fucking game.
Yes.
I was kind of surprised that the lack of, hey, so we've opened a new indie studio with former devs
I mean,
that
that's
were just
literally
laid off last month.
On the flip side, look at what happened with Blizzard. Oh, Blizzard lost this veteran dev. Oh, what's the veteran dev doing now? I'm opening up an indie studio and we're making a game. Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Here's the thing. Again, I want people to do, but like, it's possible for someone to go, fuck these greedy ass developers, right? And I do mean developers, right?
No, yeah, understand.
Corporations.
Yeah, corporations, the publishers, producers, the upper management. Yeah, I get you.
Right, but at the same time, then go make the game you want to make.
I mean, I want to be clear here. Blizzard started as 5 guys in a garage, sharing one room. CD Projekt Red started as 10 developers living in one apartment building that had their heating cut off because they didn't have enough money to pay for anything.
Yes.
But then look at where both of them went.
Well, both of them went there because a large portion of the senior team got overwhelmed by the new blood that they hired on because they were game developers and not business experts or HR experts, so they didn't quite understand what was happening to the company culture.
Until it was too late and they had been kicked out and overwhelmed.
Yes. Much like what happened with Rooster Teeth.
Yes.
Well, no.
Well,
Rooster Teeth was a little bit different.
The only one who was kicked out was Joel.
No, but quite a number of them left over the years because the business had become, air quotes, too much for them.
Bernie was the only one. Like, of the original
5.
Gus
and
really?
Sorry.
Gus stayed?
Okay. Of the original 5, Matt stepped down but stuck around. Bernie left, and Joel was fired.
Joel was fired for
so
saying unhinged shit.
3 of the 2 of the 5 got forced out in some manner.
Wait, fired for saying what?
Joel,
a bunch of really unhinged shit, up to and including threatening other employees. Like, like, to be clear, he said like really crazy right-wing stuff. That was part of it, but he also threatened employee. Like, everybody made it clear that, like, yeah, he had some crazy conspiracy theories, and like, if you ever listened to Joel, that wouldn't surprise you that the man had crazy conspiracy theories. However, what got him fired was threatening employees.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, I'm out of gamers.
Yeah,
2 a.m.
but all right, see you, man.
Later.
But yeah, it's a very common thing, and you see it happen a lot in a lot of startups, a lot of startup companies in general. Is that this person's very good at doing, creating books for D&D, and they get really successful, so they bring on more people. Except the people they brought on, they were just looking at their skill sets because they believed that we're all going to create a great D&D book together. Except they didn't look at their politics because they don't have politics, so why would they care about anyone else's politics? Except the other person's politics cares about you not having politics. And so, because you didn't enforce your politics, which was no politics, on the cultural space of the company, they enforced theirs, and so then they would recommend certain people to you and be like, "Oh, okay, great, yeah, you do a good job, so they'll do a good job."
Yeah.
And well, no, and at first, usually that is true. And then over time, as the company grows bigger, it gets more and more bloated, and the person's like, I don't understand. Why are we losing so much money? We keep making all of these books, and so many people buy them, but we're just losing so much money. I don't get it. And then it turns out that they hired on like 52 managers, and only 3 people are actually making the books.
Yeah, of course.
It's also that thing of like people think that continued growth is the only way to profit. It's like,
yeah,
you need to grow to a point, and then when you hit that point, you gotta decide: am I going to stay here, or will I keep pushing? And if you choose to keep pushing, you can't stop.
Well, it's not just that though. It's there. If you choose the path of continuous growth, you are going to have crashes. So this is a great example of the fan fictional world that Warner Brothers bean counters live in.
Warner Brothers.
So the Harry Potter game saw a massive spike in profits because the game just came out and everyone bought it.
It's the game that people have been pining for.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. It's the game came out. Like, Warner Brothers wasn't releasing a game every month, and so when this game came out, their profits for that quarter spiked because they didn't release a game every single quarter, so their profits weren't spiking every quarter. And the bean counters looked at this and said, oh, so next quarter, where we don't have a game coming out, should have even more profit than this quarter, because we're growing. And it's like, no, you fucking dipshits, you've released a product.
Yeah.
You released a product that would probably only come around maybe once in a while.
This product took 5 years to make. You are going to see a spike in profit because people are buying your product, but then once everyone who wants to buy the product has bought your product, you will not see that spike anymore, and it will lower down. And yes, you'll get some residual people dripping in here and there, and you'll still get a small continuous sum of money from the product. But once the majority of people have bought your product, that's it. That's all you're getting out of it. And don't get me wrong, they got $1.5 billion off of it. They had a net profit.
We must make money at all times. Thus, we will make microtransactions.
No, it's even worse than that. It's even worse than that because Warner Brothers bean counters looked at this giant spike in profit and expected an even more massive growth next quarter because they're retarded. And I don't know who let them count beans because they think, oh, I have 10 beans this quarter. That means I'm going to have 20 beans next quarter. Where's your proof for that? Well, I had 10 beans this quarter.
That's not how that works.
So why wouldn't I have more beans next quarter? Why
Bro,
would
you'll get 11 beans, maybe 11 and a half beans.
Right, but it's like, it's not even that though. It's like, why would you have more beans next quarter?
Because I got beans this quarter.
And yeah, that's literally their logic of, well, I have money now, so why wouldn't I have more money later? It's like, because you produce a product and then people buy that product. And if you don't produce a product,
keep buying in perpetuity.
You don't get more money.
Stop using logic.
I think you're making a little too much sense here, Sneaky.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, they panicked at the next 2 quarters where they didn't see a giant spike in growth and profit. And they decided that actually earning $1 billion is dumb. Because if they can't earn $1 billion+ every quarter after that, then that's a stupid model of business to have. So they're gonna go back.
Unreliable.
It's unreliable. Yeah, making good games that people want to buy is unreliable.
Listen. The only thing that made me angrier than that was the Larian devs putting out the interview and saying, "Yeah, we have gotten rid of we're not doing anything more with D&D." and them explicitly saying, yeah, part of that is because they fired all of the people we worked with.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, and it's also just like, so yeah, Warner Brothers comes out and they're like, oh, we want to go back to the subscriber / microtransaction / always online model that no one fucking wants. Also, we want to make 50 games of it because they make so much money. And it's like, yes, you dipshits, they make so much money because one person picks a always online game and then just plays that for the next 7 years, and that's their one game. If you make 49 more always online games, they're not going to play them.
No.
Yeah, Suicide Squad is failing hard at this point, and
They have 10 people online right now.
But here's the
I
problem.
can't believe it's failing.
Suicide Squad isn't failing because people won't play those games. Suicide Squad is failing because it's a garbage version of those games.
I wouldn't play it even if it were a good version of those games.
Yeah,
I'm not
I wouldn't
saying
play it either.
anyone
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
My point is that it is a bad version of that game.
Okay,
that
well,
game
I'm
mode.
gonna be real.
Yeah, fair.
I'm gonna be real. There is almost no always online game I enjoy.
Destiny 2 was alright. Not great,
Destiny
but alright.
2 was alright 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, has it been that long?
Yes, it's been that long.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes.
My brother played Destiny 1 for like 5 years before
Yeah.
Apex.
I'll do one better. I just pulling this out of nowhere. I kind of miss Gotham Imposters. That was
Huh?
a fun,
What the heck's
goofy
that?
game.
I liked how the vertical movement worked in that game. I did not like much else.
Nah, the gunplay was
It's
good.
just it's just like, okay, so like almost no always online game is good. I mean, Dota is technically considered an always online game, but it's such a massive cash cow that they're never going to turn it off. And even if they did turn it off, you're losing cosmetics. You're not losing progress, right?
Or a story, or a campaign.
or campaign. Yeah, you're losing an ability to play. Oh, he's gone. Okay, bye. You're losing the ability to play a 5v5, perpetually resetting, hero-based action game. So, you're not losing much. But if you say you play one of these games like Marvel's Unite or whatever the fuck it's called, or what was the one EA made with the really cool jetpack armors?
Oh,
Anthem?
yeah.
Anthem.
Anthem.
You know, what if Anthem comes out and you buy it and you're excited and you play like 50 hours of it and then EA says, sorry, not profitable, shutting it down. You've lost story
Which is what they
progress.
did.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You lost story progress. You lost your character's progress. You've lost the time spent on those things. Because unlike with Dota, right? Because you're not losing any progress, you're not losing the time you spent playing Dota. You just can't play Dota anymore.
The problem with that one specifically is it went to shit. Anthem could have been good, but
Well, they
no,
fucked it up.
instead
Well,
they chose to make it dog shit.
Yeah, well, they tried shoving too many trends in. Like they pulled the Ubisoft. It's still playable, yeah.
Yep.
But it's terrible, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it could have been the next Destiny. It could have been really good. And then they were like, no, shove this new trend in here. No, shove this new trend in here. Oh, this thing isn't a trend anymore. Remove it. And it's just like, just give us flying mech suits. Like, Jesus Christ, you literally could have just sold the game with that. But no, you had to be these fucking dipshit retards chasing after the latest trends, thinking the game's going to come out in time to catch up with it. The real Destiny killer was Destiny all along. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, true. But that's what I'm saying though, right? Like,
yeah.
The a lot of these always online games have some sort of progression wheel where your character gains power over time by simply playing the game. But what happens when those servers shut down? You lose that progression. You actually lose that time. Unlike a game in Dota where each game resets and it's always reset, and you got into Dota knowing every single game was going to start at a clean slate and none of your abilities or anything would be carrying over to the next game. If they shut down the servers, nothing changes. You never had any progress in the first place. You just have fond memories now. But now, if your favorite, if the Genshin Impact shuts down, thousands of dollars lost, hundreds of hours lost, all of that progression. They say they come out with Genshin Impact 2. They have to reset the game, obviously, because they want money out of you. So you all of that story is gone. All of those characters, all the loot, everything's gone. You have lost time. You have lost money. You have lost everything. You are objectively having a section of your life quite literally bleached away from reality.
Cursed.
I got to experience that with the fall of 2 free-to-play games back in my high school days.
What was that?
Rumble Fighter and Grand Chase. Although Grand Chase there was such a call for Grand Chase, they actually did revive it 2 years ago. It's still up and running now.
Yeah, and it's why I also quit Destiny. It's why I quit WoW. It's like I had fond memories of WoW, and I was just like, I'll keep the fun memories.
If you go at it with the understanding that this will eventually go away, it's not too bad. Like, Fate Grand Order will eventually end.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that we'll get to experience the full, like, last chapter before it.
Right,
well, it looks like we are, because they originally released number 2, which gives you the entire backstory of the main character, with servants acting as your family.
Dude, they're cooking something with the upcoming event.
They are. And they also gave animation updates.
I think the difference there, though, is if you play an always online game for the story, and then you hop into it occasionally to play it with friends or something, that's one thing, right? But if
dedicated to that.
if you're dedicated, if you're spending all your hours playing it, if you're like, oh man, I gotta do my dailies every single day for the next 3 months because I know the upcoming event requires me to use my Saint Courts to summon this one hero that I really want, and I need to have enough to get her on the pity pole, and
that's a fucking job.
Yeah, it's literally a job, and congratulations when that server eventually shuts down. You've lost everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I just haven't done any. Really need to. I can just put in time.
And the other reason why I don't spend time on them is simply because I don't gain anything at the end of the day for doing it. At the end of the day of playing what's that city? The city builder one. City Skylines.
Skylines?
Yeah. At the end of the day of building City Skylines, I'm in the same places as I just finished a raid in WoW. But City Skylines, I get to feel cool. I get to feel good. It's like, I just built this whole city and it functions and I don't need to do anything, and look at all the places and they're doing all these things. And yeah, technically there's infinite growth, but there's definitely a point where the city is just stable. And you get to feel good about that. And same thing for Minecraft. You get to a certain goal in Minecraft of like, I want to collect these resources to build this building, and I get to look at it and feel cool, and it's like, all right, cool, I did my thing, I'm done. In WoW, in Fate, if you fall behind, and it's hard to catch up, and now you have to get with the new meta, and then you have to do all this and all that, and then it's like, okay, so I did all the metas, and I did all the raids, and I did all the outer realms, and I got all the new characters, and all right, so what did you get at the end of it? No satisfaction, because now you have to start preparing for the next thing.
It's a perpetual rat race, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are literally running in a digital hamster wheel.
Yeah, I got my first real taste of that with Warframe. Still
Fuck
in open
Warframe.
beta, by the way.
Yeah, well, people who got diamond weapon skins in Call of Duty games ended up having their work on them when the next game came out. Well, yeah, but I mean,
When did they add diamond weapons?
in the newer ones.
The last time I cared about multiplayer, which was middle school, because my cousin was super into Call of Duty multiplayer.
Yeah,
Gold weapons
same.
were the thing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though. Is I would go for the gold weapons, and some people were like super hardcore prestiging up, and like that was the thing they did though. Like the thing though is that like they liked Call of Duty as a series. They didn't like Call of Duty 4. Like the people who went Prestige 15, they didn't like one Call of Duty game. They liked every Call of Duty game. And they would play the ever-loving shit out of it every single day, no matter what new game it was. If it was a Call of Duty game, they were playing it. They were getting rank 15 prestige. They were getting diamond in every weapon. And it wasn't for some sort of nebulous progress bar. It was because they loved the shit out of Call of Duty as a series, and they just wanted to show off how much. Oh, yeah, no, certainly they have their favorites.
Yeah, there's always going to be the favorites. There's going to be some people like, this is the only Call of Duty I'll play, but they probably still played the shit out of the other ones.
Yeah, I'm talking specifically about the obsessive ones. Those are the sorts of people that will just play every Call of Duty game. Yes, they don't like this one as much as Black Ops 2, but they're still going to Prestige 15 it. They're still going to get the diamond weapons.
And then you've got people who only play Call of Duty for zombies.
Yeah.
Those are the sane people.
Yes. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I think Call of Duty is very unique in that Battlefield tried to copy off of them, and I don't think that's what Battlefield's strength was. Battlefield's strength was a long-lasting game. Like the amount of time between each Battlefield release was like measured in years, not months.
Yeah,
It also didn't have a fucking operator system.
I didn't play anything before Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3's big strength was massive maps, huge teams, and like 90% of the weapons available to you right from the start.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the starting weapons are just as viable as you unlock down the road because they're balanced closer to their real-world counterparts than what Call of Duty did. Call of Duty balanced exclusively for game balance.
That
like,
fucking Winchester 870 shotgun, my beloved. 870, my beloved. 870 with slug rounds, 16 scope, my beloved.
Hey, kid, do you want to see what a shotgun can do in real life?
Hey, alright, hey ho, ballistic arc, let's go! Bang! Shoots into air.
You see that dude on the skyscraper in the distance? Snipe him with a shotgun. Just do it.
And then, of course, you have someone angry.
Mara's leg, my beloved. Indeed, yeah.
Using a shotgun to kill someone across the map. One of the very first times you get called every slur in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, no, shotgun, my beloved.
As great as this is and making to play Titanfall 2 again just for its mobility, I think I'm going to go.
Alright, very cool.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, I forget what the original point was, but point being is that a lot of these games are garbage, the people behind them are garbage, and they all live in a delusional reality where they don't actually know what a game is.
Oh yeah, we started complaining about devs who were fired, some for like awful reasons, some for legitimate reasons. Then we got to bitching about bean counters fucking everything up.
Somehow we always end up with bean counters fucking everything up.
It's
I'm
almost
sorry,
like there's
what the actual fuck? How to Live with a Cat. Hawks isn't alone anymore. There are now others inside his cage.
Huh?
I'm concerned.
Female author. Female author.
I need an adult. I'm scared.
They aren't an adult, so I think you're fine. No, wait, 2008, they are an adult.
Fuck.
No, they are not.
We really shouldn't call anyone born after about 2001 an adult.
Well, considering they made their page in 2008, I would put them at around 32.
I don't like this.
Yeah. Well, there's your hate fact for today. The armor hero, Paladin, year 1, starts off where it ends in Paladin origin story. In this sequel, read as Izuku enters first year of UA, where he goes and does many things and becomes many things to be the first...
The first what?
To be the first male hero in a world where only women have superpowers.
So this is the author's.
Oh, it's one of those.
Huh?
It's one of those.
It's the author's fantasy, everybody.
Yeah, it's the author's fantasy, in where he is the only male available in the entire world, and so every female is required to choose him because they have no other options. A story in 2 pictures.
One moment, I almost go hug my dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like really big capital ships that shoot lots of guns. That's my personal fantasy when it comes to Star Sector. Gown, Battlestar class, my beloved. Boku no Hero is anti-hero, question mark? Now a co-op story.
You're probably gonna regret making it a co-op story.
Just like I'm gonna regret reading this. What if there were heroes who were allowed to kill villains who couldn't be brought down by the law? That is how that works. That's
I think he means
called...
openly.
Yeah, it's called policing. If you can't bring
No,
someone in, the police just shoot them.
In the MHA universe, they don't do that anymore, and they only use heroes who do it non-lethally, but there is that section of government-funded heroes who are authorized to kill.
Yeah, I know. Which is why I'm saying, huh? What if certain heroes did what public heroes couldn't do? What if I put question marks and commas right next to each other, not understanding what the fuck a grammar is? Questions can be asked, but only story can be answer. This is story of anti-hero villain killers. Multi-tag warning for sex. You have been warned.
I'm sorry, did I hear anti-villain? What?
Anti-hero villain killer. I bet there's a super woke MHA AO3 story where they're all anti-heroes because ACAB.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome to my first solo story.
Oh no.
Oh, bro couldn't even stay solo. Hey, look. I'm not gonna knock you for doing co-op work. 'Cause that's all I do. But I will say, do not copy me. It will not end well for you.
All right, Godfather.
Come to me on the birthday of my child, asking for favors. Go ahead. Speak.
What are you supposed to do? You be a man!
Wow, it's all told in italics.
That's cursed.
Extremely.
Also, it's a shit ton of original characters who are all super edgy with super edgy backstories, and then a giant wall of text skipping to hundreds of years later.
You're killing in there.
Sorry, everyone. This dude puts fucking quotes in his author's note to denote him talking in the author's note.
Wait, what? That is cursed.
I'm making this short since I'm hiding for now, but from here on out, this story will now have sex and harems, and no one will be under 18 in the lemon harem sexes, and hence UA will be 18 years and older only now.
What?
Whoa. Landmine be land yours.
Okay. Okay, you know what, Gillier? That's actually witty. I like that.
Okay.
That is witty. I like that.
Oh yeah, the Boltark Coalition, yeah. Are there super weapons from Boltark even, like, good? Because... Boltac, whatever. Because I have them installed, I just haven't done any of their shit to get their stuff. Because, I mean, they looked like just a little bit better low sec, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy low sec, it's just, yeah. I keep them around for flavor, not for fun. Anyway, yeah, I think honestly we can end here. It's 9:30. I mean, there's not really much to go on. We had our little rant for the day. We said how much we hated bean counters. You know, we had enough time up to run 4 pages of ads. So thank you, Amazon, for the 3 cents we'll be getting from this stream.
.5% after tax.
A 0.5% after tax, of course. Yes. But yeah, I think we can call that here, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday because there's always more. And